Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Plexi Film Show. This is AJ, WXUT 88.3, Toledo's only alternative. And today I'm going to be talking about Detroit Become Human. And I have some guests. I want to go from left all the way around in the circle. Go ahead.
Hello, I'm Quinn Cooper.
Hello, I'm Zach.
Hello, I'm Brad.
And I'm James.
Wait, one. Go ahead.
I'm Kane. And I'm James.
James is like so far away.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I got shocked.
You just got shocked.
I got too close to the mic.
So, anywho, I have about, so there's 5 people with me tonight, so 6 of us total in this room. It's going to get very warm, so whenever you guys get too warm, just open the door. Feel free to go ahead and do that. But anywho, if you guys do not know, Detroit Become Human is based in 2038. It has evolved to a point where human-like androids are everywhere. They speak, move, and behave like human beings, but they are only machines serving human. You play as 3 distinct androids and see a world at the brink of chaos, perhaps our future, through their eyes. So, how would you guys rate this game? 1 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Easy.
I would say, sorry, I don't know.
No,
sorry. Okay, is this better?
Yeah, you have to,
so
really get out
I would say it depends on your playthrough, depending on how quickly you murdered off Kara. So, that's just my take. No, I'm kidding. It's a great game. A lot of different branching options. So it just kind of depends on the playthrough.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd say 9 out of 10 just because I haven't played much of the game, but I've seen, many playthroughs of it.
Yeah.
And it does seem, interesting, and I do want to play it.
I mean, that's what you said with Life is Strange. And
you know what?
Dude, I'm doing like a binge of that right now. That's
really?
I'm doing a binge of Life is Strange right now. That's crazy.
I've played all of them, and all of them never disappoint me, even though people are, really hating on Double Exposure right now. But I think it's really good.
I just like a lot of the themes in a lot of those games.
Me too.
Yeah, you can take a lot from that.
I can see why some people say they haven't played it, but yet they've seen it. It's a lot of time to dedicate to it.
There's a lot of Let's Play streamers out there.
There is.
That do
I'm
a
half
lot
and
of
half,
coverage.
so
yeah.
I do playthroughs on my channel. I also make funny gaming content, but I download the funny gaming content through my Twitch so I can edit them. But I also do playthroughs on YouTube, so it's kind of a mixture of everywhere.
Check it out.
I also make YouTube videos.
No way.
Really?
And I watch them.
Oh, God.
Have you seen the ones I've edited for him?
I have not.
Anywho, James and Kane, how are your thoughts and opinions on this game?
Definitely a 9 out of 10. It's a great game, but I haven't played it much.
Fair.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. All right. I would give this game an 8.7.
Why so critical?
Or sorry, not 8.7. That's IGN's rating, but 8 out of 10. I would say 8 out of 10 because, like you guys said, there's multiple different things, so it's good and bad, depending on the outcome. And I had the worst and the best in 2 different playthroughs, so my phone's going off like crazy. I'm gonna have to mute with that. But anywho, I've had both good and bad, so it kind of helps. I feel like 8 out of 10 is a perfect balance out of that. So
Not bad. I mean, I like how there's multiple endings, multiple choices.
Me too.
You can miss a single item, and your entire story will be different.
Same with saying the tiny wrong thing, especially the first mission.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with
the rush actions, crazy.
Yeah.
That scale of yours seems to decrease a little bit. 8.7 down to an 8. I thought you liked this game.
Yeah.
No, I do. I really do like this game. It's just playing my first time. I was like, man, this game is really hard because every little thing you say is very specific.
Oh yeah.
One little happy thing can curse your people. I tried being really nice and really nonchalant and go through, and I had all the characters die by being nice.
Oh boy.
Yeah, okay, I had the worst ending. Marcus got plowed down. But plowed down.
Yeah.
Well,
him and his crew, and then Connor. I don't remember what happened to Connor. I think he just
you forgot about my boy Connor.
And then Kara and Alice. That ending is so sad. Yeah. But yeah, IGN's rating is that they say Detroit Become Human is pointedly pulpy interaction sci-fi drama where your choices can impact events to a greater and more satisfying degree than in most games of this type. Though I wish its story had been handled with a softer touch, especially considering the subtlety that can be conveyed through its tech and performances, and its well-written and acted central trio were vital enough to me that I found myself feeling genuine distress when they were in danger and sense of victory when they triumphed. Most importantly, Detroit offers a multitude of transparent branching paths that entice further playthroughs, and choices have a permanence that rise the stakes throughout, which is a very well-written comment and rating.
So what did IGN rate the game?
They put it 8.7.
Yeah. So I guess my big thing about the game is like you can have very, very different experiences depending on how you play the game. And I guess my big problem is sometimes I feel like in your decision making, there's a lot of like quick time events and a lot of like time crunch stuff that like
And even if you just like press it, like even though if you get it, if it's too early or too late, it will still like work. Like it will still like detriment the time.
Yeah. Well, and then I noticed too, it's like if you don't know very specific information, like your entire playthrough can just be like washed. And like it's not a very forgiving game, especially on like harder difficulties when like quick time events are really quick. And like if you're trying to go for a certain ending, your entire playthrough can depend on like one action.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure.
And that can be very frustrating, especially if you're trying to see all the different content of the game. So like what I ended up having to do was like I had my first playthrough, and it was kind of like a mediocre playthrough. Like I think the androids got sent, like, you know, they got some freedom. I think Kara and Alice died.
There's not much you could do with that end.
Yeah.
The ending is so hard to get, but I got the good endings.
Yeah.
Isn't there like only one good ending for those two characters?
They cross the border.
Yeah, that's
that's
the
about
only
it.
option.
And even then, they're like very depressed. It's like whites.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, talking about that, I don't know if you guys
I'm
know.
getting some static in my head.
So yeah, that's because of the wiring issues. Yeah. No, you're good. And also, when you speak, just make sure you're like really close to the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. I don't know why it's like that, but you have to be like really up there.
Okay.
But anywho, there's an ending like when Kara and Alice is, you know, trying to cross the border, and you have multiple people that you talk to, and you get to choose who you get to sacrifice just to cross the border. I had to do it because I forget what that one big dude's name, the one buff guy.
Yeah.
I saved him and I sacrificed Jerry.
Oh,
I don't blame you. I'm joking.
I'm not gonna lie. Jerry was annoying.
I love Jerry, but like, damn.
I think there's a very, very specific way that I think you have to like go to.
You
the
can
bathroom.
save them both. You don't even have to
there's a way
separate.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
there is a very, very specific.
You have to
way.
say certain things.
Yeah, you have to like. It's very specific, and then public opinion needs to be like really high, and like there's a whole thing you have to do. So that's what I was getting to. Was like, I did my first playthrough of the game, and then couldn't get like the other endings. So then I just had to like watch other people who were smarter than me like figure out how to get like the certain endings because. Also I just didn't have the heart to do some of the endings.
Yeah.
Like I just like I didn't have the heart to like have Connor not be a freedom loving sentient android. Like
And I can never make him evil. Like,
yeah,
dude,
it's so
crazy.
hard. It's so hard because like
Even though he's very like monotone the whole time, he's just such a great guy.
There's so much character development to Connor too. I think that's the reason why people are loving that character.
that's why he's my favorite.
I love him.
His progression.
So talking about favorites, who are you guys' favorite character?
Yeah. So mine is definitely Connor, mainly because of the dynamic between him and Hank.
I love Hank. Hank's development is crazy.
Yeah, the relationship between those two is probably
We love Mr. Krabs.
the relationship between those two is probably the highlight of the game for me because I think they cover such a wide range of topics between like identity, grief, like there's so many like big ticket items that they kind of process together and they grow and learn from each other depending on how you play Connor. And sometimes like you can treat Hank like absolute garbage, or you can like help him recover from like his, you know, spoiler.
How much Hank
son's death.
like defends Connor is awesome.
Yeah,
once you actually get close to him, I think the funniest thing I had to do when I was because I introduced my girlfriend to this game, and I was like, I was like, do whatever you want, but there's some parts I'm like, dude, you got to do it. I haven't got to see it, but please do it. Like, you know, and when you first meet Hank, you can spill his drink on him. Yeah. And I did that. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
Sorry. So wait, what's AJ? What's your favorite character?
My favorite character would have to be Kara and Alice.
Really?
Yeah. Or Kara
That's something
and
I don't
Alice.
commonly hear.
Yeah. I love the motherly and daughter relationship, especially when Alice. They also help figure out their true selves because, you know, Kara got damaged by what's his name?
Todd.
Oh yeah, Todd.
Todd destroys her, and then they had to get a replacement and fixed and all that. And then Alice had to help bring Kara back. Like, oh, this is what happened, and then Kara had to help Alice figure out that she's an android too.
I was gonna say, I forgot. Isn't she like an android?
Yeah, and you can also figure out early in the game that, because when you're cleaning up the room, you can figure out really quickly that she is just by looking through the rooms, and she drops some things and she picks it up, but it doesn't actually show it. So you have to really pay attention.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. I love little details like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the little details are everything.
Just to reflect off of that, I really got to go with Marcus. I really like how
Marcus is great.
His personality's great, especially at the beginning of it. But like the fact, like if you get to play it, holy cow, you could do a lot being a leader of a whole group.
I was going to ask though, how do you play Marcus? Because that is an interesting.
I feel like you have to go back and forth. I'd say it depends on the situation.
No,
like sometimes you have to go put down the law.
I
go full Gandhi the whole time. I'm like full Gandhi, like, you know, non-violence.
The way I did it was kind of like what
well,
AJ
you saw
said.
that happen. To me, I died, so...
You just didn't do it hard enough. You got to go all in on non-violence,
Nah.
even if they're murdering you.
Nah,
You know?
at that tower, you got to be a little bit violent.
Wow. Dang.
Especially when...
Connor?
Especially the last, like, getting close to the end when you guys are all grouped up in, like, this
Yeah.
one building, you have to put down the laws, Marcus.
Yeah.
Like, I think Marcus even yells at Connor, like, dude, you have to be with us or leave. Like,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got to Connor a little bit earlier with Marcus. There's like a certain kind of ending you can get where he meets up at the tower before you go raid it. That was an interesting scene, but I don't know. I liked how you could be a leader of a group. You can either be really violent or you could just be pacifist.
Zach, favorite character?
I'd have to go with either Hank or Connor. Because, I mean, first of all, I got Connor as my result for the test. So, you know, I have to go with him because, you know, answers were relevant, I guess.
Fair
it
enough.
makes sense.
What kind of ending did you get with Connor?
He hasn't fully played it.
You haven't played it? Oh,
No. Unfortunately.
James?
you should.
Me personally, Hank all the way.
Yeah, good answer.
I love the human, the big one.
I love the scenes where he sounds like Mr. Krabs.
It's so great.
Dude, it's awesome.
Connor, me boy.
Mine has to be Marcus.
Ooh, what's your reasoning?
Just who he is, and almost like in any way, just I don't know.
Fair enough. I mean, I like Marcus for his personality, his backstory, really.
Dude, I
Especially
feel...
with that old guy that was a painting.
Yeah,
That's such a wholesome
One
story.
that's one of my favorite moments actually from the game is when you get to choose what painting to paint.
Yes.
That was so awesome.
It's such a powerful moment because I think that really kind of like shows you the first signs of like androids having sort of a machine learning like sentience or sapience, and like they're having more complex feelings than just pure logic. And I think Marcus is actually a prototype because he's the only type of android of his kind.
Talking about that, Marcus was given to what's his name? The old guy was name.
Yeah,
He was Marcus was given to him because of how so Kamsky gave that to him because Kamsky knew that he would take care of Marcus, and Kamsky knew that Marcus would take care of him.
That's right.
So
yeah, well, and then I love that it's an artist that kind of emboldens a very like prototype-ish android to start having like deeper like philosophical questions and asking him like deep questions about like who he thinks he is or like what does he think about more complex issues that androids don't normally think about. And I love the like early sort of foreshadowing that they kind of do, because I think because it's really early in the game. It's before like really anything's actually happened, and it's kind of in where we're still used to androids just being normal robots, but they're starting to like show the cracks in that. I think that's pretty interesting. Anyway, sorry for yapping. If I'm talking too much, please.
No, you're
tell
fine.
me.
Go ahead, dude.
All right.
Have fun. I want you to yap yourself off.
To be fair, all of us yap, so
That is true. You should have heard last session.
You don't yap, Zach. You just kind of stand.
I'm just kind of here, just
You're
speaking.
just kind of here.
That's good. Sometimes you need people like that to kind of like bounce ideas
Yeah.
off of.
Yeah.
You're instrumental. So yeah.
No, you're
All
good. What is the character you guys got through the test results?
Connor.
Connor.
Hank.
Because
Really?
Heck yeah.
Carl.
Carl?
Oh, you got Carl.
Interesting. Carl
Heck
was
yeah,
my-
dude. That makes sense, because especially with you liking Marcus, so that makes sense that you got Carl.
Carl's actually my favorite
Dude,
freedom
I wish-
fighter.
Dude, I wish you can keep him alive, but no matter what you do.
Yeah. I just love the, I don't know. And again, this was like, so I did like the ultra pacifist playthrough.
Yeah.
That was my hardcore playthrough. So like I loved his sort of perspective on like
Yeah.
how on life, or how to like achieve independence and freedom, and like how his take was like, well, no, we need to work together, and like we need to show them a better path than
Yes.
violence.
Yeah.
Because that's, I think, so I watched all the different outcomes on YouTube. There's like a 10-hour binge watching video that you can watch where it's like every single possible outcome.
That is crazy.
I
think the scariest is seeing Connor go rogue.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty scary. That one was tough.
Especially what you get as a reward for making him go rogue.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You get like a really cool skin if you get that ending.
Yeah. But what I noticed was that the game kind of tells you is like, if you choose violence, you can gain independence through violence.
Yes.
But it leads to a war, and it creates like constant bloodshed on both sides.
Oh, for sure.
And it's not really a permanent solution, because now a couple things. First, androids are no longer going to be made.
Yeah.
So eventually, just through attrition, their numbers will dwindle. And then B, androids will never actually get to function in a society ever again, because the society has rejected them. So they can maybe make their own society, but they're going to be in constant war. So
And
like
dwindling in population.
exactly,
as well.
yeah. So it's not lasting. Versus, I think the point is to try and, like, my take on it was to like eventually reach a point where androids are actually recognized as like sapient, like living, breathing things, even
Yes.
though they're bionic. So that was, again, my take. Sorry.
No, you're
No,
good.
no,
No, you're good.
sorry.
Who says androids can't figure out how to build themselves?
That is
Like,
true.
That
they'll
is
start-
true. Actually, that's
That is
true.
true.
That's true. That is a great point.
You know, they could
do some robot.
make the process better, faster.
Yeah, some robot.
Reverse
horizontal
engineering.
Charles.
Yeah.
Just some horizontal android mashing.
Anywho, I got Connor as well, which
Nice.
is really surprising because I chose stuff that's nothing like Connor. So it's very
Yeah.
shocking.
And this
to
is
me.
how we became best friends.
This is how I met your mother, guys. All right, what'd you get, Quinn?
I got Connor as well. Even one thing I was kind of confused about was the description of what you got when you got Connor. It says you're an intelligent and a determined individual. You work hard to achieve your goals. You're loyal as always to pick up smaller detail. Also, you're like a dog.
Yeah, so sometimes I think the problem with BuzzFeed is they sometimes are like, oh, find your favorite character, but then sometimes the result is you are that character, and it's like, well, no. You can like a character, but not be that.
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
See,
say.
that's the thing. I didn't even choose Connor as my favorite character because I like North. North is one
Yeah.
of my favorite in Marcus's groups. I'm not going to say anything else beyond that.
Okay.
I tried going for Marcus and I still got Connor.
I went
That
for
is
Connor
crazy.
from the beginning. I'm gonna be honest. He's my boy. Like I could never.
He's my
reach-
home dog.
Yeah, he is.
See, the
I'll be
description
honest-
for... go on.
Go ahead.
No, you.
Okay.
You first.
I'll be honest. Each of the questions, like every question on that quiz, I just answered honestly, like what I would do. Like, what's my favorite thing? What's my
No, you're good. It's
I
true.
think that's like the best way to do it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be yourself.
if you're trying to purposely go for something, then you're probably just gonna get
It's okay.
it.
When I started doing these quizzes to make them more fun and interesting, for the Phineas and Ferb episode, we were trying it took us maybe 2 or 3 tries to get Perry the Platypus.
Wow. Man. Only 2% of the population gets this character. Find out.
What do you have to be Perry?
I don't even remember, but it didn't take too long. We expected it to take longer, but it wasn't too hard. Anywho, I made a new segment because I realized that it would keep it more engaging as well for those that maybe not know the game that much. So I started doing like media updates. So like, especially with me doing video games, so I'm doing like video game updates as a whole. So, guys, you guys good over there? Were you guys moving the mic and it made noise?
I moved it back to him.
All right. So, if you guys do not know, Lost Records Tape 1 just came out, which Lost Records is a game that was made by the original developers of Life is Strange. Mm-hmm. So, the Tape 1 has came out, and Tape 2 will be coming out in April.
Sweet.
When's April?
Huh?
When's April again?
I'm just going to do a
After
quick
March.
name drop really quick. There was
2 months from
a
now.
band behind a lot of the music in Detroit Become Human. They're called the Whiskey Charmers, and they're fantastic, and everybody should watch them because nobody knows who they are, and I'm so alone in knowing this one niche band. Go listen to them. They have great music.
Who?
The Whiskey Charmers.
Ask.
Oh,
I'll give it a check. I'll check it out.
If you liked the music from Detroit Become Human.
I do.
It's pretty
You're about to
cinematic. I
hear
like
some
it.
after this. So,
Sick.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is finally joining Magic: The Gathering this November.
Isn't there other news with Avatar as well? Like there's a new series coming out?
I think so.
Yeah, there's going to be like an Earthbender.
I can't wait for the Magic the Gathering Yu-Gi-Oh crossover between Batman and Superman and Iron Man and the Avatar all in one game with every possible pop culture reference in every single version of that card game.
It's going to be pink.
So don't forget Little Nicky, man.
Bro. I can't keep track of all the expansions these days. I think there's like a dinosaur
Isn't
one.
that like
The D&D Monster Manual just got its first new edition in over a decade. What's your guys' opinions on the new Captain America movie, if you guys have seen it?
I haven't seen it yet, but I want to.
I'm conflicted.
Conflicted? I haven't seen it, but the ratings for it is all over the place.
That's the thing.
It is all over the
The
place.
plot is so cut and dry, cookie board, cardboard, whatever you like to say, it's
Cardboard.
bland. But the only thing that's really redeeming about it is the Hulk, the
Yeah.
Red Hawk. It's such a good villain.
I feel like it's just another cash grab at this point.
It is.
But that's kind of been Disney's like go-to for
Sorry.
That's no, you're cool, Zach. That's kind of been like Disney's MO for a while now, though.
Just
It's like,
cash grab
I mean, honestly,
movies.
like,
I mean, look at the live action Snow White. Like,
I mean, okay, but here's my take. Here's my take on the whole thing. I think Disney has always been a cash grab company. We're just now living in the era where it's becoming like
it's
painfully
becoming
clear.
a monopoly.
But like,
for
man,
sure.
did Captain America: Winter Soldier need to be a story told? I think yes, but also like there were definitely some movies in there that like I don't think necessarily were as important needed as like I don't know, like you had the
Did
first
we even need a new Captain America movie in the first
We
place?
don't.
No, we don't. But like there were a lot of movies throughout Disney's whole like career. Like, okay, I'm like the biggest Iron Man stan on the planet. Iron Man 3 was not a story that needed told. Like that it had no overlying like implications on the universe. It was mostly just character growth for Tony Stark,
But
which
like Pepper,
It
she
was very
got
needed.
the iron suit.
yeah, no,
finally.
it was cool. It was a great. I loved that movie. I just don't think it was a story that needed told.
Fair.
But like Disney and Marvel are notorious for doing that. But like we like the movies anyway.
Here's the biggest question though: is the next Avengers movie, is that going to be a cash grab?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
I mean,
how
Mark-
much of a flop is it going to be though? That's the
I mean, let's
biggest
be
question.
honest here. This is my opinion. I don't like the big T movies. I already ranted to you about this. So after Avengers 1, I was already bored of the Avengers.
Wow. Nah.
Get out.
Even
Yeah,
Endgame?
heresy.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
You,
'Cause
didn't
I-
watch
haven't even seen it?
No, I don't care for it.
Wow, bro, nah.
I don't
nah.
care for T
Did you
movies.
see Infinity War? Like Infinity War?
I watched a little bit of Infinity War and I got bored within seconds.
It's like one of the most action-packed movies I've ever seen.
I find, even though the movie is mainly like an Avengers movie, my favorite out of like the Avengers universe, I really liked Captain America when Tom Holland was first introduced. It was like a Captain America.
Civil War.
Civil War. That
Yeah.
was
I forgot
one
that
of
was
my
a Captain
favorites.
America movie. On
it doesn't feel like a Captain America.
That's what I'm saying.
movie.
It was like an Avengers movie, and that to me, like, I thought that was the best. I think that's better
liked
than
it.
Endgame. I think that's better than Infinity War. I think that one beats all of them out of the
Put so
water.
much emotion to it. You slam the table.
My favorite movie is Age of Ultron. I know.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so more interesting than sitting at a table. We should hurt this guy. How do we come up? Like, that's why I don't like Avengers, is because they're sitting at the table for 30 minutes straight and they fight for maybe 5-10 minutes. And
I wish
the
I
rest
could
of it
tell
is
you-
just nothing.
You guys know my
I-
favorite movie?
Huh?
Ratatouille.
We watched it the other day when you were over at my house.
Throwback to when Ratatouille punched Thanos in the face. Throwback.
Yeah. Remember
Ant-Man
that time when Ant-Man killed Thanos by himself?
Yeah, I do remember that. That was crazy.
Oh man.
going up
Yeah,
somewhere.
anyway,
How about the next time you talk about movies, you talk about Ratatouille?
That'll be
That'll go
interesting.
deep,
All right.
Yeah.
philosophically
Deep cut.
even.
We should get through this
yeah,
real quick.
yeah, sorry.
Have you guys seen the new movie Heart Eyes yet? Or
No.
if you guys
I
are
heard
interested.
about it.
But I want
I-
to watch it.
I heard it's actually really good.
What's it about?
I haven't even heard of it.
Oh, horror movie.
It's like another slasher movie at this point, but it's for Valentine. It's like a Valentine's Day slasher. It's just think of
So-
My Bloody Valentine, the movie.
Yeah.
But in just another Valentine's slasher movie.
So Cupid's a murderer,
Oh.
right?
Not really.
Oh,
I'm guessing. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet, but I guarantee it's like an ex or like a family member.
Have you guys seen Polar Express?
I don't like Polar Express at all.
What?
I hate
it's
it.
all right.
AJ, get out of here.
Too much Tom Hanks.
Come on, man.
From the ads I've seen, Hard Eyes is basically take Michael Myers, but throw pink glowing hard eyes over the face,
And that's it.
and that's it. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but I
It looks
do wanna
good
check it
though.
out. Yeah.
It does look good. Opinion on the new Monkey movie that just came out this past week.
Monkey movie.
I'm
what?
so
what?
uncultured. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Talking about Jumanji?
I will show I will show you the Monkey trailer after this. There are new shows coming out in 2025.
Oh, wait. Do you mean the horror movie about the like the symbol monkey?
Yeah.
Okay, I
it's
wanna see that
the
one.
Stephen King
from
novel.
Toy Story.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's
No,
pretty much
this
like
thing
That
is
already gave me enough
horrifying.
childhood trauma. I don't need more.
No, like this thing smacks its symbols together and someone dies.
Oh God,
In some-
that's horrific.
Crazy way. I want to watch the movie.
one show series that is coming out I'm most excited for. I mean, you guys already know I have a tattoo for it, but Welcome to Derry. They're going to make a prequel TV show series. Not needed, but I'm excited.
I won't say it.
Go ahead.
I think okay. Here's all right. I'm doing a deep cut. This is I'm tired of Hollywood just rehashing. I'm tired of it. They rehash the same universes over and over again.
I mean, you're not wrong.
there's 4 It movies already. We don't need more. No, is there
The
not?
original one,
I
and then
thought there was
chapter
two-
1 and 2.
Is there not 2 parts to the original?
No, it's all in one movie. It's
Okay,
all in one.
even then, 3 movies is still. We don't need.
Well, the thing is, chapter 1 and 2, the new version, actually made the series make sense because the original one just threw it at you, and you're like, "What is this
I
about?"
agree, but
And
also
the acting
like
is so horrible in the original one, and Pennywise in the
I just
original
thought of
one.
the spider from the original.
Oh my god, the CGI is horrible.
It's so bad.
And Pennywise, I like Tim Curry, but what the heck?
Yeah,
like, that was
yeah.
horrible. Pennywise is Bill Skarsgård. No one can tell me otherwise.
Okay, so my main point is that
Nicolas
like I just
Cage.
don't want like the same material about the same universe over
Yeah.
and over again. Like for example, Star Wars. I don't
I like Star Wars.
No, okay.
I agree, but it doesn't need to be.
I
revamped.
love Star Wars a ton. We from like we have like every single fart recorded from like Revenge of the Sith and onward. Like there's like a 10-year period between that's not fair. It's like 16, 20 years. But like a 15 to 20 year period from Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope. But they have like so many like movies and shows and like we got to cover this 15 to 20 year period. And it's like, dude, I'm past this. Let's hear about like something in the far future or like something.
That would be pretty interesting.
something in like the old Republic era. Like there was so much like old lore about like the High Republic that's like sick because it's like when the Jedi were first born. Anyway, my point is there's a lot of potential material, but instead it's like we need to keep rehashing a bunch of old familiar faces because we know that's going to make money.
Yeah.
And I just want like new stuff. Like I want something fresh that's like going to be interesting and not something that I've seen before.
But
already.
Baby Yoda.
Okay, Grogu's cool, but like, dude, here's my take on Mandalorian. I liked it when it was Mando and Grogu just going on silly adventures. They could have made that into a 10-season show for me, and if they were just going on cool cowboy adventures together through the wild west of space, that would have been perfect.
I would
but
maybe see that.
But
Grogu with
that
the
would be
cowboy
sick.
hat.
That would be sick, right?
Or just like a 10-episode, 2-season series.
Yeah, that would be all right too. I just don't care about going back to old Mandalore, and like that was not a story that needed told. I didn't care for the like weird robots that had force power. That was goofy. I didn't like what's her name, the redheaded chick from what was her name? She was in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Huh?
She was she was a part of Death Watch.
You'll figure out once we find it.
Yeah. Anyway, point is, she was terrible.
Did
She
you
was
say Leia?
no, not Leia.
Leia.
It was not Leia. No, but she was responsible for like the downfall of the Mandalorian culture. And then like Mando's like just some random dude, and she's like, "You're not the real type of Bo-Katan." She's like, "You're not a real Mandalorian." It's like, okay, well, you were responsible for the death of like all your people. He's just some dude. Like you have no.
Dude, I forgot about Bo-Katan.
I hated Bo-Katan, and they made her like such a like important character in the final season, and I'm like, I just didn't care for it. And again, like I think it would have been cool to have the Mandalorians like rebuild their culture and their entire empire from scratch, like not on their original planet. Like I think that's a very cool underdog story about a people that are like kicked out of their home and they have to find new space. Sorry, I know I'm ranting about this. I'll shut up. Anyway,
I was about to say we're about to go on a break.
sorry guys, sorry.
No, you're
I'm
good,
so
you're
sorry.
Quick,
No
Brad, are you
worries.
telling me you didn't like when Luke Skywalker showed up blasting Fetty Wap on his JBL speaker
No.
before saving Grogu?
No, I don't think that was
No?
needed.
You didn't like that
It was a very cool scene. Didn't need to happen.
Come on, man.
Could have been like a little short.
That was
on
my
the channel.
favorite part of the.
It was sick.
Thing.
It was a real look. You can really like a scene and not think it's necessary. That's all I'm gonna say. Sorry for yapping for so long, guys.
No, you're good.
No,
It's
you're
okay,
good.
I yap a
Good.
lot. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're good. All right. We're going to go on a 15-minute break. Well, technically 12. We'll be back on at 10:45. So, yeah. This is AJ with the Plexi Film Show, a WXUT 88.3, Toledo's only alternative. And you're going to be hearing the amazing soundtrack finally for Detroit Become Human. We ranted for about 33 minutes, but that's okay. I like long episodes. They're awesome. All right. Anyway, this is AJ with the Plexi Film Show, WXUT 88.3, Toledo's only alternative. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to WXUT 88.3, Toledo's only alternative, and this is AJ with the Plexi Film Show, and I'm going to be continuing to talk about Detroit Become Human. And yeah, I have some special guests to my left. Do you want to start, Quinn?
Hello, I'm Quinn.
Hi, I'm Zach.
I'm Brad. What's up?
I'm Joe.
I'm Kane.
No way.
Joe is James.
I'm sorry.
No, actually, I'm Zach with an X, so it has special.
X and a K.
Don't judge, please.
XAK.
I just have a generic.
Hey, listen here, Brad.
I like the name Brad. It's pretty dope.
Bradley Smith is the whitest name possible.
That is true. That is very true.
I've been told a million times. It's okay. We don't have to mince words.
Anywho,
Zach Bray is just like her.
I'm going to be continuing to talk about some theories / just general questions that they have. So if you guys do not know, Chloe is like the main menu android that you see at the beginning of the game, and depends on how often you leave and come back to the game. She makes comments about the decisions you make throughout the game. And especially if you do not let her go, she says some things, and I'm going to tell you what happens. So what happens if do you guys want to take any guesses on what happens if you don't let Chloe go?
She accepts her fate and does my bidding like the good android slave that she is.
That is crazy.
I'm kidding.
That
I'm
is
kidding.
crazy.
I'm kidding. She probably rebels.
All right.
That was kind of cringy.
What? She's an android. The whole duty of an android is to serve humans. That's their whole job, right?
Have you played the game?
Yes, I know. That's what the bad humans think.
Okay. What do you
No better than Todd.
What do you think happens when you don't let
She
her
gets
go?
super duper happy. She says, she
Don't
hopes
let
her-
her go.
What?
If you don't let her go.
Yeah, she gets super happy and excited to see you every day. And she's like, I hope you have a good day. Come on.
All right.
That's definitely what happened.
Exactly.
Kane, do you have any words that you would like to say or thoughts?
Not on that part.
All right. So what happens is she gets really upset and gets to a point where she resets herself.
Good.
She resets herself so that she forgets who she becomes. So the next time you go back on the game, it'll be like the first time, and that she feels betrayed by you.
Womp womp.
But she reset herself. What?
Yeah.
She-
She feel betrayed. She was reset.
No, she feels betrayed because you're like if you play the game, you're supposed to have feelings towards the android and let her go.
It'd be pretty funny.
not
You gain freedom and liberty for the other androids but her.
She gets really upset and all of that, and resets herself just so that she forgets all the memories, so she isn't sad anymore.
Womp womp.
That is crazy. Anywho, did you know that there is a broken Kara in the junkyard?
Yeah.
So if you guys do not know,
No, but did you know that the game was called Detroit Become Human?
Very good.
Actually, I did not know that. Thank you.
thank
You
you
are
for
a
giving us a
scholar.
title
It's just
card.
mind blowing.
Yeah.
You look so numb right now to this whole conversation.
No, I'm like, I was thinking about it. What if it was like in Ohio instead of Detroit?
Columbus becomes Ohio.
Toledo.
Toledo become Ohio.
Yeah,
Or
I
Cleveland.
misspoke. Okay.
No, guys, Toledo becomes Michigan.
Oh no.
That's the dark timeline.
I'm out of here then.
Alternate universe.
Yeah.
Ohio lost.
Yeah.
Ohio is lost. Anywho, but Kara, if you guys do not know, what is so funny?
It's that every time they turn the microphone, it's just the most like movie like creak in the planet. It's like,
Stepping in your room.
Yeah.
You better want.
Anywho,
What?
there's an android that is singing like a lullaby, and once you investigate the robot, it looks like, Kara. But the song that she is singing is something the android has to sing while being like put together for like their vocal cords, so they know what they sound like to practice like what language they're saying and all of that. Huh?
I've been in choir once too.
Wow.
She if you guys do not know, there was a little test, little short snippet before the game even was announced that it was coming out in 2012, and it was Kara being built together, and she already automatically has consciousness, and she has essentially consciousness, and they consider her as a defective model, and they try to throw her out and disassemble her. But while that is happening, she convinces the guy making her to put her back together and let her free. And the deal is, I'll let you free if you do your job. As in, do not,
Yeah.
Don't let anyone know.
I think it's kind of better what we got through the game. Like, people actually learn their own humanity.
yeah.
I mean, I didn't. I definitely became more...
That scene, I will show you guys the scene. It's very, sad.
It gave me, from what you're telling me, it sounds like Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
I think that mic over there in the corner needs some oil.
I like how the only thing that Kane has said is just laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his third word.
Wait, has that changed?
Oh,
yeah,
he's
now,
speaking. He's full sentences together.
Good job, Kane.
Hey, do you know what the game is called that we're talking about?
Do you?
I don't know.
I think it's Half-Life Alex.
I think so too.
I think it's
Ooh, VR
Half-Life
game.
2.
Yeah, I was thinking
Fortnite
until
Chapter
dawn.
2.
Until dawn.
Until dawn. They're
With
coming
the
out.
quarry.
How do you guys feel about them making a show/movie about it?
I am
About
so
Fortnite?
I want to see it.
Until dawn.
I'm so hyped for
The
it. I would
Fortnite
love
movie.
I haven't even played the game, so I'm excited to play the
I-
game.
I'm so hyped for it.
I was honestly talking about Dress to Impress on Roblox. Man, it's the best game.
No
ever.
one's.
Dude, the Dress to Impress lore is crazy. Trust.
So
Start with
Yeah.
a man named
Can we
Queso.
talk about Detroit?
yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes, we are humans.
Just
You
go.
are?
Just let the questions rip. Let the
All right.
questions rip.
Anywho, I'm actually going to be starting on the theories now. So the darkest theory about AI is that deviants weren't actually alive and were just machines. It was just a virus and a glitch. Then anyone that was empathizing with them was actually just empathizing. And you play as a virus, and it shows that, you know, there's more AI that you're empathizing with, as in like other humans empathizing
I
with
feel
one
like
another.
I feel like that's true in some way.
I actually kind of. I mean, there's definitely some there's some evidence to back that up because I always think of that scene where Connor is in the android manufacturing plant and he can touch one of the androids and transfer the code.
Yeah,
and then they.
I mean,
can,
that's their thing.
Yeah,
it's like.
but
It's like
that-
I don't even know what you call it. It's like a
Probing their memory where they're just
Yeah, well, no, they
I
touch
mean,
they touch each other's arms and then they transfer data
Yeah.
like a virus would.
yeah.
which is kind of to suggest that, but like that's a very like
I say,
blatant. Sorry.
no, you're good. I'm not fully done with it.
Oh, sorry.
No,
sorry.
you're good. In the game, the androids were giving like citizenship, and in the real world, it's like how we give the robot AI Sophia, which she also has like a human citizenship,
Yeah,
and I don't even know which specific
She
country.
does?
Yeah.
that's kind of wild. I didn't.
That
know
is
that.
crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually.
Which is it's very disturbing to think about that we also have an AI robot
They could
that
be
has
girls.
citizenship and can do whatever and
Yeah.
they like.
So
But it's also sad to think about how AI will be given citizenship instead of like immigrants and migrants coming to
Yeah.
the U.S.
yeah, that's a little
Uh,
scuff.
Just to continue off of that theory, I think it's possible. I mean, if you think about it, every ideology is some kind of virus in some way.
Yeah.
You got to tell someone what you think about it. If you don't, then
I mean,
it's not gonna
I guess
spread.
my question is like a couple things I had to say. Sorry, I can if you guys need me to cover.
Make
Oh,
sure you-
sorry. Yeah,
yeah.
is this better?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm new to this, everybody. So, what I think is a couple things. I think it's a very like Blade Runner sort of like cyberpunk take on like the
Yeah.
AI isn't actually feeling those emotions, which I just disagree with. Like, because to me, the big question is how close do you need to emulate emotions before they're actually considered emotions? Because if you really think about it, a lot of the emotions we feel as humans are just neurons like firing off in your brain,
Yeah.
which could be considered code in a way. I mean, it like a lot of how our brains work are very similar to computers. They're just very complex computers, but they're still computers. So it's like, well, okay, a lot of it is like, you know, in our blood, it's our genes, and it's like, well, that's not necessarily original. It's just like recreated. Like your genes you get from your parents, and they're spliced together to create something new, but it's still from two originals. So it's like, well, that's technically you're not being original. You're just like the code of your parents.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you actually creating the emotions, or is it just like the bloodline of humanity?
could we say that with what we are, though? If that makes sense. So like, it's two things together.
Yeah.
It's original because you're something else
You
compared to
guys
those
have
two.
something to say over there?
It was just a squeak. Also, Brad, I don't know about you, but I bought my own jeans.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same here. I got my own jeans.
You know,
That's Jordan.
sometimes jeans
No,
are
that's
expensive, and sometimes you
Those
need,
are Jordan.
sometimes you need your grandma to buy you jeans. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
I'm kind of poor.
I got mine at
Yeah, she's
Goodwill.
Oh, or I got
Yeah.
mine. I think I might have stolen mine.
Anyway, point is, so my question is like, when does it be considered original emotion instead of like it's an imitation? Because that was always the argument, right?
Yeah.
Is that like for example, the androids aren't actually, you know, they're just replicating emotions. It's the
Yes.
same thing in like Blade Runner, where it's like you look like a good Joe. It's like they're just really good at imitating emotions, but they're not real.
Yeah.
But it's like you look at some of the moments in the game.
I feel like the best way to describe like something that's like, you know, real and alive is our heartbeat. Like their heartbeat isn't really a heartbeat. It's just the power. They're electronic, so it's
they have
Wouldn't
a
you say the
battery.
same thing about us, though?
Again, see, this is important because this is where you start to kind of like, you know, split hairs, because this is kind of where it gets tricky, and that's kind of the point of the game is androids are so close to humans. Yeah, what's going on over there, guys? We having a good time?
This is exactly what happened last episode too. Last time it was
Kane wasn't here.
It was mainly James and Zach. Mainly Zach just laughing for like 20 minutes straight. All right, go on.
So yeah, no, it's fine. It's just that like when you're getting into the nitty gritty detail, you really have to like kind of make points of like, okay, well, what do you consider human, right? And it's like, like for example, you could say a human is like we have organs, but so do they.
I looked it up because you were mentioning about human, like what makes a human.
Yeah,
I looked up,
Yeah, Google.
Google
Let's see what
search.
Google said.
Google says a human. Again, this is an AI overview, so who knows if it's really true or not.
AI
That's meta. That's I don't like that.
Anywho, a human is a member of the species Homo sapiens, a bipedal primate with large brains that enable complex communication and social structures. Technically, Detroit's would be humans.
Yes. So my question is, can you look up define sapience? What is sapience? Because sentience is not the same thing as sapience. People actually don't know this.
Wise or intelligent.
Yeah.
Sapient is Latin for wise or intelligent.
Yeah. So sentient just means aware.
What is so funny? I heard a laugh. Like, what is so funny?
That's just Zach doing his thing.
Okay. so sentience is just awareness. So some people get this wrong. All animals are sentient. Not all animals are sapient, which is why it's a human level of intelligence and awareness. So, like,
bro, I thought you were going through it. Like,
if I'm being annoying, please tell me.
No, I was just itching my eyebrow.
I thought bro was thinking.
Yeah,
so
and
hard
Zach,
about
if you need
this.
something to say, just do you need it?
No.
Okay, cool.
Get a funny joke?
Yeah, about how the game is called Detroit Become Human. Okay.
Captain giggles over there.
Yeah, no kidding. So
Captain Quiet over there too.
So, all right, what was the original question again?
No, but anyway, the end of the quote theory is the darkest theory says about AI. But the ending is like it's just sad that humans have actually thoughts and feelings and bodily systems that need to be cared of, and it's sad that AI will just get those rights just more than actual humans.
Yeah, I mean,
and human in Detroit Become Human has some right to be afraid as us in the real world, to be afraid and have rights to be afraid of AI because of them taking over our jobs, which we just glorify and fantasize AI a little bit too much. Because if you think about, there is a lot of AI out there, and now it's like, oh, AI can do this for us. We're just becoming more lazy. We're turning into, WALL-E. We want robots to do things for us.
That's actually it's a very real fear, and it's very valid.
Yes.
I have a completely different take on it.
Go ahead.
I think that, so like, for example, I think that when humans have more available time, we divert our efforts to significantly more things. So what I mean by that is if you look back on when we first discovered agriculture and started developing agriculture, before then, we were hunter-gatherer, and that was what took up all of our time, was hunter-gatherer. Mm-hmm. Once we developed agriculture,
Bro's so smart right now. I'm enjoying this, but you're you're awesome. You're smart.
All right,
So
thank you. I really appreciate that. So once we developed agriculture, we were able to create professions like carpentry, house building. Like,
major at this point.
I mean, I'm very passionate about history. So like that was really the dawn of civilization. Was when we had available time to stop worrying about food. And instead, we were able to create objects.
Cheetos over here.
Yeah. So, like, what my point is that with the development of artificial intelligence and automation, yes, it's taking away jobs. Are we good, everybody? We got our snacks. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. I love Cheetos.
Oh, you got the Ruffles.
Gosh, everybody's such a.
I love Ruffles.
Yeah. On the topic of food. Anyway, yeah. This is what I was talking about with agriculture, people.
I got another question to ask after what you had to say.
Okay, so I'll finish my thought really quick. So basically, with the invention of automation and AI, we're living in an age now where we're going to have a lot more available time. And yes, it's taking away a lot of very important jobs in our current society. And we're going to feel that for a very long time. There's going to be like over probably like 100-year period where as a society, we're like really feeling the repercussions of that. So I'm sorry. Does everybody need a moment?
I don't
understand.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay, so
I'm listening. I'm just seeing.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's goofy. No, so basically, like we're going to be living through an age where people are going to have to adjust to that, and it's going to really struggle because, like, for example, my dad was a truck driver. They were talking about automating the truck driving industry and having like self-piloting semi trucks. Very scary because like that's his livelihood, and it could be gone. And so it's like you're going to feel that sort of burden on the society. Yeah. But then after a while, a lot of those jobs get transferred into other careers, and then new industries that we've never even thought of can be created. So that's kind of like the big thing in my mind is like we don't even know the type of industries that are going to exist in 100 years. Like nobody thought TikTok influencer was going to be a career in 2025.
That is so true.
And like 10 years ago, TikTok didn't even exist. But all of a sudden, it's like a whole industry, right? So like new pop-up industries are constantly being created. Like, unfortunately, drop shipping. That's a thing that just exists now. But like, do you guys know what I'm saying? Where it's like,
no, I
with the more availability of time, more industries will be created, which will, I think, propel humanity. Sorry.
The day AI takes my job is the day the world comes to an end.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Once the train guys are gone.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to the complex jobs, sorry, I forget my camera has auto turn off. I feel like once AI takes over the complex like skills and
like
activities.
I don't want to do taxes.
Yeah, I want the AI to do my taxes.
James, explain what you do for a job. Like a brief description.
All right, so I work for a company that's basically a railroad contractor. When derailments happen, my crew goes out any time of the day. We clean up the derailment, whether it's putting the rail cars back on or the locomotives back on the tracks, or we just clear the site for the rails, and the company puts their rails back in if they're damaged.
For my fellow plebeians out there, that means he make choo-choo go vroom vroom.
Make big money, do it.
Yes, but that's how I understand his job, is he make choo-choo go vroom vroom. Anyway.
My thing is once, AI takes over big skills like that, that's when we need to worry. Like, I can understand simple tasks like, check out for a grocery store. That's understandable. That's still, there's still cash registers for people to actually be on it, but it's the fact that it's taking away a job, which is very scary to think about.
So what about what about niche jobs that are like security for a grocery store? Is that complex or is that simple?
I feel like that is still like something a human eye should care about. But like,
so like, would you say AI or human should do it?
Both.
Yeah,
both.
I would agree. Like, have a human there, but also have AI back the people. Like, they can spot the thing and be like, "Hey, this person over here, we spotted them grabbing this off the shelf and they didn't pay for it."
So
something like that.
I guess in my mind, it's like you have to look at it in the long term. So it's like, what's the worst case scenario? All of our jobs are taken, right? Like we're thinking like 150 years in the future. Every single conceivable job right now can be automized and then maintained.
And it's scary to think about too.
It is scary, but then you think about it. Humans like doing stuff. And I think I
feel like we'll get to a point where AI will take over too much, and we will take back over for the AI because we'll be so bored. We have nothing else to do.
I disagree. I think we become a entertainment-based society, and because I think we're already going in that direction. So there's actually a case study out there where throughout history, generations of rich people, the longer they stay with money and like the longer people are born into wealth, nearly every single time they always lean towards the arts and patroning the arts because they no longer have to worry about making money, which means they no longer have to worry about survival. They have all of their needs met. So then they shift from the material to sort of a subjective, sort of ethereal, sort of emotional, being. And that's kind of what I think a lot of people are, moving to. And that's why we're seeing the rise in a lot of influencers and stuff is because we just have no time.
Just to add on to that, my social media professor, funny enough, here's one thing that you cannot... I know, I am, but... one way that we can really separate ourselves from AI is authenticity.
Yes.
It's kind of the reason why we see a lot of influencers, like what you said. A lot of people are focusing on genuality.
Yep.
If you were to look at someone like, I don't know, PewDiePie in 2016 compared to now, you'll like Case a lot more than you would like PewDiePie back then.
I mean, look at us right now. Or specifically you and me. It's my show. I want to be in entertainment, but you guys are here because it's our authenticity to hang out with one another.
Exactly.
And share
What are we going to have Cortana and Siri talking about this?
my uncle, who's I respect, he's a great mentor for me. But one of his big points was people need community, and it's something that we really struggle.
It's been proven multiple times.
Yeah, like we're very social animals, and that's why for example, COVID hit. Pretty much like every single main organization had to go into lockdown. A lot of groups were destroyed or wiped out. And there was a big moment of isolation for a lot of people, and that really caused kind of a massive mental issue because a lot of people developed a lot of mental health issues because it was a long-term isolation for a very social animal.
I know for me, it was not an issue because I have a lot of online friends and I game with them. So to me, I still had that community,
and that's really good. And a lot of people did switch to online communities. I had a really rough experience because the year before, I had joined chess club, esports, debate club. I found 3 or 4 clubs and organizations where I found community, and it was the first time where I actually felt like I belonged. And then COVID hit, wiped it out. And so then, I was kind of in a lull where I had no community. And then COVID kind of, went into the foreground. People stopped really caring. I'll be honest, people kind of just were done because we just were so sick of being alone.
I know for me and my friend, I know
your singular friend?
Me and one of my friends specifically, we both the mic squeak is not that
I'm
fun,
sorry,
guys.
that was mean. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. Sorry, AJ.
Me and one of my one friends, his mom worked outside, outside of the house. My mom's a babysitter, so it was harder for me to sneak out. But I've always I was able to go outside no matter what. But my mom's like, "Oh, stay around." I'd be gone from noon to sundown, hanging with my friend at a park because we wanted to hang out. Yeah. We were bored we were tired of being corrupt up. I'm like, yes, we got games. You got games online, but you can only do so much. Yep. So we were just we're tired of this. So we just hung out at the park after a while.
Absolutely. Well, and what my main point, what I was getting to is after I think lockdown finished and a lot of people started going back to in person, there was this massive movement towards finding communities and clubs and groups and people.
No one wants to do it anymore after a while.
Yeah.
I know, maybe for the first month, most people were too scared to do anything. Yep. So.
Yeah, no, that's true. I just noticed when I went to high school, James, I don't know, I felt there was definitely a need for community because there's just a lot of people that just didn't have anywhere to go. And so it's I think just naturally we tend to go towards communities. Anyway, back to the point of AI. Point is that I think as we progress from a working society, sorry everybody, I'm so bad about that. As we progress towards a non-working society, I think we start to make more and more groups and communities to kind of find comfort in that. And I think that's why there's a lot of institutions and organizations like that out there. I mean, from religions to clubs. I mean, anything. It's just a way for people to find community. And I think that as we go from a non-work society to a sort of an entertainment-based society, I think we're just going to see an increase in that as people kind of look for authenticity, Quinn. It's kind of like jump off your point. Anyway, I think, where were we anyway on Detroit Become Human? Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
To double back real quick, COVID hit me really hard because my favorite Chinese restaurant has still not reopened.
R.I.P. bro.
Bro's had way too much of a long break. He needs that Chinese place.
R.I.P. Empire.
That place slapped.
It was so good.
Anyway.
All right. Next theory.
Question. Next theory.
Do you have any idea on who actually RA9 is?
Well,
There's been many theories on who it could be.
The immediate jumping answer is Marcus. Like everybody, like that's what everybody would assume. But I don't think it is. My take on it is I don't think it's any of them. I think that it's either symbolic or I think that it is more. Sorry, do you have to say, dude? Are you good? Do you want to say something? Like,
Go ahead and say something, Zach. Go ahead.
Yeah, here, go ahead.
What does RA9 stand for?
A9.
RA9. Do you know what it stands
RA9.
Yes.
RA9. Ryan. I don't know.
Me personally, back to when you guys were talking about like
I am
this is a
sick,
virus.
speak.
I think RA9 is the name of the virus
Yeah.
that's taking over.
Yeah,
giving
I
them
can agree
sense.
with that.
It's
Yeah.
been proven.
I agree with
it
James.
being the I agree with that. That's pretty much Zach. I agree with that.
I feel like you've said that like 30 times over the past 3 episodes.
Freedom of speech.
Hell
New word. This speech, freedom of speech. But like, yeah, the theory that I found, it's like it's been shown that it's a virus, but also like it could also be the first Android ever made, and it was just going down the loophole of it being Kara being the first ever Android being invented.
I mean,
That one, this theory specifically, but I've seen both of those, and both. I feel like the most realistic one is the virus.
Yeah.
We'll quote the virus one.
I was going to say, that's kind of like related towards one of the...
I'm sorry, we were working out who's going to speak next. Sorry. We were playing rock, paper, scissors, everybody.
Just to reflect back onto one of the other theories, I can only see it as a virus.
Yeah.
See, sorry, I want the rock, paper, scissors, so I'm going first.
Go.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, I don't agree with the virus theory. I think it's...
Hater.
Yeah, I mean, you can say it. I think that... I just disagree. I don't think it's a virus causing awareness. I think it's that they're reaching such a complex level of machine learning that their ability to feel empathy is what makes them human.
AJ, what's the definition of a virus?
I mean, it's a
Let
spread.
me look it up for you.
Yes.
Yeah, that is good to define. Actually,
I can-
Because I feel like it's constant change. It's change of a status
I
quo.
think
Is that-
I
do
actually
you think
looked at
that-
this the other day. On
See,
my
I think
own.
I treat it more like a biological, like just like a error. Like I treat it like an error in their code.
Give me all the definitions, not just the medical one.
I want to mute all of you. There you go. Got you. A virus is an infectious microbe consisting of a segment of nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA, surrounded by a protein coat. That's a simple definition. By the way.
So those were words.
Medical.
So DNA and what?
RNA.
DNA and RNA.
Well, so okay, let's look at it from like a computer.
We know
terminology.
medical, but what about computer?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there is a
Yeah.
difference.
See, I don't know whoever said that that our RA9 could be the name of the original.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
I don't think it could
Ooh.
be.
It couldn't be, but
Because
That's what I said,
they would
because it
all
was
know.
Kara that is the original
Right.
at first.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
Because it was the first test, and you're like, no, you're not supposed to have those feelings, and that's when
So
I'll show you guys that video after
Yeah.
our next break. By the way,
so the reason.
a computer virus
Oh yeah.
is a malicious program that can spread to other devices and harm computers and performance, which is like such a simple thing. But the only thing I can think about is spread to other devices, and that's the only thing I can think about is when they're like communicating and passing each other off. And if you think about it, in the actual game, there is other androids that actually died because of viruses. And I'm thinking RA9 is an actual virus, but the RA9 that humans are looking at the virus as them thinking and becoming realistic emotions. I feel like there's two different viruses going on, and that's what RA9 is. An actual virus that's killing androids and not actually...
The only argument I have, mainly with the virus idea, is that we see multiple androids develop empathy and awareness in isolated events without the involvement of any other android. So to have a virus, there needs to be an origin point, and then it needs to spread somehow.
And the only thing that I can think of is like the first original one becoming empathetic and all that.
Well, and so like that, because that's really the big thing is like if you the big commonality between all three androids, Connor, Marcus, and Kara, all three of them develop awareness and develop self-control when they see suffering or like they see another being that they think needs help, or like they push past their code out of like raw emotion. And
Kane looks like he has something to say.
So go ahead, please.
No, I don't have anything to say. I was just
okay.
thinking about what you...
You just looked very deep into it, like you're about to say something. So I'm letting you say whatever you want. You can say
please.
it.
I'm still thinking.
Okay.
Bro's still like
he's cooking. He's cooking it up.
He's in the loading screen.
Let him cook. Let him cook. So the big thing is like we have 3 isolated events throughout the game where they all develop self-control and self-awareness. Regardless, I think so. Yeah. And so it's like for it to be a virus, it's like, well, where would they have gotten it from, right? Because like, how would they have developed it?
Kamsky is the one that made the androids.
Yeah, he did. But then that's like, okay, that's a good point.
So there is a theory that I did watch. Kamsky made the androids, so it's bouncing off the virus as in like being empathetic. So that's what I'm saying RA9 is in this situation. Kamsky planted RA9 in the androids to show empathy in the androids, to show humanity how cruel humanity actually is.
I think it's a bad take. Because I don't like that it implies. I don't like that it implies that they're not having real emotion.
Go ahead, Quinn.
Sorry. Yeah, please.
I feel like I should reflect off of what you said. If you feel like, okay, if AI is based off of its coding and they're trying to be genuine humans and help out people every day, wouldn't you think it's part of their coding to learn empathy, to learn what is the actual emotion of what it means to be unjust? I was going to say exactly. Like we can see that clearly with Marcus. If Marcus would have just let that guy just bully him, then he's full on. I guess he has a virus already by not having that empathy.
Well, and that's kind of the thing though. Is it's like, well, they're straying from their original code because technically, if Marcus was staying true to his original code, he wouldn't have helped. He wouldn't have.
Yeah,
I think Carl is the one that. Well,
Carl's.
no, I think Carl's the one that helped him and let him be empathy because, like I said, Marcus was given to Carl because Kamsky knew that Carl and Marcus were going to be taken care of.
Okay, so then this is interesting. So, if Kamsky knew that Marcus was going to be taken care of. Because I thought there was also a point where Kamsky sent him because he knew that is the old man's name Carl? Is that his name? Yeah.
The old man's name is Carl.
Yeah, so I think it was that there was another thing that he knew that Carl would teach Marcus self-awareness or sort of emotion.
Yes.
But that doesn't make sense if he's the one that created RA9 in all of the androids. Because why would he need to if he already created it?
Maybe because if it's built in. Sorry, you were about to say.
Maybe he just awakened it.
Maybe it just takes like a few connections. Because if you think about it, computers is pretty much AI won't do anything until it's told.
Yeah.
So it just has to unlock that ability.
That's true. I guess I don't know. It's just
we are like ganging up on him for this argument.
No, it's fair. Like,
we're branching off very far.
We are. I'm very surprised.
It's cool. I think the big thing is I'm just an advocate that because in my mind, and I don't know about you guys, to me, androids are sapient. They're human, like in the same way.
I'm joking.
No, and that's fine. You guys can disagree. I think that like they're so similar to a human and they have so many characteristics that we define as human. Like if you tried to describe a human, they technically match pretty much every single description.
Yeah, that is true.
Biological functioning.
They have
growing up.
So,
Naturally
Growing
age.
up.
So
Growing
that's
up.
true. Growing up, yes, and they don't age. But every single android has biocomponents like organs. Like if you look at their anatomy, they're just like human-like. They have a mechanical heart. They have like every single possible thing.
I feel like Quinn
they have
forgot
organs.
they have a
Quinn, go
mechanical
ahead.
heart.
Well, what if they're all completely organic? That's one of the biggest factors.
What do you-
I feel like one thing that's really, I was going to say exactly. I feel like being organic and evolving is kind of the most important part because that's how we got here today.
What
Back
do you
then,
define as organic though? Because
something that is organic is something that is.
what is like okay, so it's carbon based, right? So we're all carbon based forms. Humans are carbon based. So are androids. They're also
Organic
carbon
is
based.
I would
talking
say something that
let's,
wasn't
let's get
refined.
Google. What's Google say?
Organic is defined as relating to or derived from living matter or in
What
food.
do you define as?
I'm going by psychological organic.
Okay.
I would say.
So you want psychological organic? I can look up
let's
psychological.
go on to that. But what I'm trying to point out is growing up, evolving, coming up with new
that's
ideas.
fair.
Because
But
AI,
they do
base
come
off,
up with new ideas,
They come up
though.
with new
And-
ideas
and
based off already
Condition
given
that's
data.
caused by
That's all
physical
ideas,
changes.
So all ideas that humans create are based off of previous experiences. Nothing is actually original. No art is original because it's based off of previous art. That's all human thought and creation.
Unless there's something revolutionary or something evolving, which AIs can't. They're stuck that way forever. They can't grow up. They can't evolve. That comes along with evolution.
What if they make themselves better?
How
Harder, better,
can
faster.
they do
but, like,
that?
I love
They
this
got
conversation. You guys are, like,
manufacturing.
going back and forth on this.
They got factories. They're just gonna make better androids.
Oh, they're made out of gold now.
yeah, you betcha. Gold titanium alloys.
then
Gold
the
androids.
Trypicus human becomes a Terminator now.
Yes, that's
All
the
right.
end goal.
Psychological organic is psychological. Wow,
Words. You got it.
Words.
You got it.
Psychological condition that's caused by physical changes to the brain or other organs.
But we do witness change in their code.
But not organically though.
But, okay, so here's the question though: is it's
Are
like
you more saying flesh?
No,
Because
kind
our
of. I'm
flesh
talking about
changes.
microscopic change. Like whenever you have dead skin, it heals back after given time.
so the real fundamental question is whether or
also
not
heal
you
over time,
believe.
They also heal over time.
Really?
Once they like look at Marcus, he rebuilt himself and his whole like skin surface body rebuilt itself.
that's true.
Really?
Yeah,
I
it
thought they
did,
had to go for
actually.
surgery
that's
for
the
that, or
thing.
they
On
left it
its own
there.
without
See,
any
that's the
outside.
thing.
They can
market-
perform self repair, but they need the biocomponents to do it. Is the big thing.
I mean, it's just like us. We can't just rip our leg off and put it back together. They
Unless you're a
can.
gecko.
So I think
Actually.
yeah. I think the problem we're running into is we're kind of bouncing all over the ideas, and that's okay because that's kind of how conversations work. But I think when you're looking at human sentience and versus AI, you have to kind of get into the brain, right? Because that's kind of where we go, right? Is like, humans, we create new ideas, we create new thoughts. We're kind of changing. Sorry, are we approaching
5 minutes until break.
Okay, so I'll make it quick. So basically, the real question is whether or not you believe in Detroit Become Human if they are making changes or if they are growing. I say yes because of the experiences that we see Marcus, Kara, and Connor have. They physically change, and I think they show actual awareness and machine learning. And I think because like the real question is like, when do you define it as sentience? When do you define it as this is a living, breathing thing that is having changing thoughts? And I think that they exhibit those wide ranges of experiences.
I agree as well.
Yeah, and that's people can disagree.
But when you look into
Oh my God, Kane's talking.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
when you look into the brain,
Don't forget you're talking to the mic like this.
thanks.
Let him cook. Guys, let him cook. Seriously.
When you're looking into the brain, like you can go on this as a scientist or just in general health. Everything comes from the brain.
Yeah.
Like that's the main base of everything. It's like a motherboard.
Yeah.
So I don't see why it could be or would be any different when it comes to androids.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even though we don't really have that now,
Yeah.
like if we somehow found a way to unlock that, I don't see why
Yeah.
we couldn't evolve that even more, and then it evolve itself.
Yeah.
So
I think it really just boils down to whether or not you think androids are capable of machine learning,
yeah,
and if they're capable of
You know what? Yeah.
making new code.
I feel like they're capable.
Yeah.
I was gonna
for
say,
sure.
I feel like they already have Google in their head. So if they already have Google in their head, they can know everything.
Well, I
They can do matches of humans and fingerprints, so I'm pretty sure they can figure out.
I
other
forgot
technology.
about that now. And now they're able to do face gestures now too.
well, and again, it goes back to
It's just like that one. I mean, one thing I find funny when it comes to Connor's investigation skills, all I can think about is Batman, because you're
Yeah.
replaying the
Yeah.
moments that happened. So
Yeah.
I find that cool.
Well, and again, and I was Quinn, on that point that you made about original creation, like for example, art. Right now, AI can't create what we consider original art. But the question you have to ask is, what do we define as original art? Because, for example, every artist today has this wide library of previously existing art and ideas. Like there's different art styles that we're taught. Sorry, have we reached our time?
No, you're good. I looked up original art, and the definition is awful.
Yeah, what does it
A
say?
unique piece of art created by an artist's hand.
That's not. That doesn't solve the
I would say
issue.
it's like
Let's go
something
Google.
that hasn't
So-
even been thought of or
It's
created.
mainly just another creation just made by an artist.
Kane's
hand.
cooking. Let him cook.
something with a story behind it, not just something that's just
Yeah.
random out of nowhere.
I was gonna say, just to bounce off of you,
Yeah.
it comes with authenticity at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because again, similar to what you pointed out, we are really focusing on social media influencers off of authenticity than
Yeah.
people that are just making content. Like, I'll be a Mr. Beast. No one. He's
thing-
everywhere.
my main point though is like, you can be authentic, but it's not original. So like, for example, there was during like actually the 2000s, for a very long time, there were a lot of court cases on whether or not music had rights to its chords. So like, for example, like music made in the 1950s had a very specific chord progression. And the artist of that time was like, hey, I used this chord progression. And
No
it
one
got,
can take it,
yeah.
and they'll copyright it. and all
You
that
you
stuff.
actually can't copyright chord progressions.
Technically,
you
Technically.
you can't because if everybody were to copyright chord progressions, no music would ever be original because there's only so many different variations that are actually going to sound appealing to the human ear. And so like you can't just go around like owning sounds, if that makes sense, because then it will never be original. And so that's kind of the idea is like you can be original without without being original, if that makes sense. I know that sounds so contradictory, but it's like you can have original thoughts, but they're influenced by the previous existing art. And then therefore it's not necessarily original because even subconsciously, like when you go to paint something, subconsciously you're going to have seen a previous art style, and without even thinking about it, that's going to affect the way you paint. And that plays into every single thing we do. If you watch somebody do welding a very specific way over and over and over again, countless times, even subconsciously, you're going to kind of do something similar to that, even if you're not even thinking about it. And that's kind of my point about original creativity, is nothing is technically original because everything's been influenced by something previously. And that's my whole point. Sorry.
No, you're good.
No,
I feel,
brought up a good point.
dude. That I don't even know what to say. Like my brain is like so blown away
We
with how
got
much you
deep
know.
into
Yeah, like, that's
philosophical conversations.
Hey, that's awesome.
That's what Detroit Become Human's all about.
Yeah, it
that's
is
why
really
it's one of my
about-
favorite games, is because you have these exact conversations.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna be taking a 15-minute break. We'll be back on at 11:45.
Okay.
And we'll come back with fun facts and stuff about and the last question to wrap up for the night. So yeah, this is AJ with the Plexi Film Show. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll be back on at 11:45. So enjoy the amazing soundtrack of Detroit Become Human. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to WXUT 88.3, Toledo's only alternative. And this is AJ with the Plexi Film Show, and I'm going to be continuing to talk about Detroit Become Human. I didn't have you guys starting up because, you know, I usually do my intro. But yeah, woohoo. Let's do the woohoos. Woohoo! Anywho, Quinn had to go home.
Yay.
So yeah, the rest of us are going to be chilling here for the night, for the rest of the night because
My
you know,
excitement is palpable.
I'm here till 5 a.m.
5 a.m. Well, good thing for you. The show ends at midnight, so I don't know what you're going to be
How
doing
much
until
time do
5
we have
a.m.
then?
We got 15 minutes.
All right, let's make it. Let's make it worth it.
All right, so the fun facts, I'm going to be talking about that, and then I have a little bit of Easter eggs, and I have the last question of the night.
28 stab wounds.
Keep going. We got 15 minutes.
So, fun facts. It took 6 years to make the game itself happen. It took 2 years to even make the script, and mocap footage was finished in February of 2017. And think about it, the game came out in 2018.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
So you're telling me it started production 12 years ago, roughly?
Yes.
I feel old.
I know, right?
I feel old, too.
I feel like I'm 19, almost 20.
Yeah, so I think... I think...
You know what? That doesn't deserve a crack open.
No,
I'm not
no,
open. No.
I was just going to say, I think that it was definitely like a passion project for a lot of people.
Oh, for sure.
And I think they did a lot of homework into machine intelligence and machine learning.
Oh, yeah.
And I think
They had to. So it's a fun fact, actually, jumping into that. They had to learn a whole new system and engine to even make this game happen. So it took them a while to even get that to happen. It's also the first game first story choice based game that had 3 protagonists instead of 1.
Yep.
Kara, however you want to say it. I say Kara, but for some reason Kara comes out. Kara's backstory was caused a lot of actually controversy because of the child abuse between Alice and Todd. So that caused a lot of controversy.
You know, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't like that we demonize topics like that or call them controversial because it's like they're real things.
They need to be brought up and this is an issue. Like,
well, it's it's the same type of crap with like YouTube and like banning the word suicide.
Sorry,
it's
I just got squirt.
Like it's like it's almost treating it like they're not real or like we can't talk about them, and like that I think is damaging because it's like they're very real things, and like it's important that we show examples of that, and even more show examples of I think either protagonists or characters finding ways to navigate that. So it's like I think grief's a big one. Yeah, go ahead.
And what made it controversial is that the solution, even though it gives you the choice, but overall it ends with, someone dying or someone using a gun in the situation, which is why it made it controversial.
Yeah, that's okay. Good point. Yeah.
I'm trying to let him talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kane.
It's all good.
You go. No.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But the voice actor for Connor Bryan Deckhart or Dechart, I don't know how his last name is pronounced. I'm guessing Deckhart. Came up with the original serial number on his own jacket.
Yep, I remember that.
So 313 is the Detroit area code. 248 is his hometown in Michigan area code. 317 is his birthday, which is March 17th. The last 2 numbers, 515 is the people in his family, and then there is only one original Connor.
Yeah. I actually learned about that earlier today.
Actually?
Yeah, looking into this, I was like, Novi, Detroit, yeah.
Know about that.
Yeah, no, I like that.
But yeah, those are the fun facts that I found. Okay. I didn't really find too much. Usually I find like a whole list of them. But it's okay. With how much we talked, I don't think we really need that much.
Yeah. No, I think I will add on to that. I think there was some really cool concept art that they like some of the alternative potential storylines they kind of scrapped. Or
they used a lot of storylines.
Yeah.
I think the idea to help organize was, of course, the whole flow chart thing along that you see at the end of each chapter.
Yeah.
But at one point, I think he used a scenario as like one of those huge Rubik's cubes, which is crazy to think about.
Well, and that was kind of the thing is like I think there was a point in development, if I remember, where they had to kind of take a step back and think, okay, how many branches are we willing to make in this?
And it's one of the first games that actually had like, not every choice matters, but it's the first game that actually every choice actually does
every single
more
choice
matter.
does lead to some sort of outcome
Mm-hmm.
or impact an outcome, and that is very hard to do when it comes to just from a game making perspective. Figure out like how are we going to make this all work together, because there's just so many variables you're juggling at that point. And like as an engineer, you look at logic gates and like the amount of if-then statements are insane. And so, like, I think that's kind of why it took them so long to make that game, is because there were so many branching options. Anyway, that was all I had.
With it taking so long, it's good that it did, though, because
It turned out really well.
Yeah, it not only came out really well, but it opened up room to keep exploring and testing the limits. So
Yeah, good stuff. I don't have any more thoughts.
All right, let me go on the Easter eggs. So Heavy Rain figure is found in Carl's house.
So I've actually never played Heavy Rain before.
Me neither. Me neither. I never knew Heavy Rain existed until like I started seeing it into like a double feature, like
Purple Rain. I heard it was the first
one of the first games that the game company has made.
I've played it for about 10 minutes. Very long time ago.
Yeah.
But I can see how it kind of connects, though.
Yeah.
It does have a lot of the same kind of features.
I think there was a point in like 2015 where like there were like a bunch of games that made like that butterfly effect style.
Yeah.
Like it got really popular for a while really quickly, and then I think it kind of died out.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I
like,
feel like they need to bring that idea back.
I think they need to do it in a way that feels
more
impactful.
original and natural.
Well, it feels impactful because, like, sometimes you can have a lot of branching decisions, but like I've noticed sometimes gaming companies will do this thing. Like, I think it was the sequel to Until Dawn. I think was one. What?
The Quarry.
The Quarry was another.
That
where
was the sequel.
that was the. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Dying Light. I'm sorry. The Dying Light sequel. No, thank you, James.
James, like, I know my stuff. I know my stuff.
Okay, so
I've
one of
actually
the
still
four
never
things I
played
know.
either of those games, and I'm really disappointed in myself. And I think I have at least one of those two, Until Dawn or Dying Light. I think Until Dawn I have.
I need to buy them both.
So with Dying Light, the sequel to Dying Light at the E3 Expo was that they were going to have branching decisions that impacted like every single thing, and they had like countless endings. But what actually ended up happening, if I recall correctly, was you had a bunch of just different decisions that you could make throughout the whole course of the game, and then like 3 or 4 actual endings, which like for a game that says it's going for a butterfly effect and like sort of a like all decisions lead elsewhere mentality, it just doesn't deliver the same way. And I think that was actually one of the critiques of Detroit Become Human, was that it kind of felt like a lot of the endings led to the same area.
Yeah.
Back to the thing where with the butterfly effect, and there's like it became popular. I think we do need more games like that, but I think the problem with everything becoming popular so fast is that people would rush the games and not take the
Agree.
time with it.
It's what happened with Cyberpunk. The company themselves was so tired of people begging for it. They're like, okay, if you really want it unfinished, here you go.
Yeah.
And it was a big impact to the gaming community that everyone, like, I feel like that needs to happen with film industries. Like, okay, if you really want it really bad, here you go. And like, it just shows that art takes time.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the Cyberpunk was just a really, really good example of that. And now it's like really big.
Yeah.
It's like one of the bigger games now that you see or hear about. So I have 2 last Easter eggs. One of the soldiers, when you return to cyber life, you are escorted by Agent 47. If you are a gamer, you know the name Agent 47 sounds familiar.
Hitman?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
So, and as well as Connor and Terminator has the same relevance because Connor is like RK800 and Terminator is like 8800.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. That's pretty sick.
So it's like, is it really coincidence? Who knows?
I feel like there's definitely like an alternate timeline that we just never got to see where Connor becomes the Terminator. Like that's definitely like a dark timeline.
All right. We do have really quick. I do like to go off at 59, so like everything's in a certain time limit. We do have 4 minutes. Last question. What was your end result?
For the quiz?
No.
For
the game.
For the game.
For those who fully played the game, what was your first end result?
Let me take a second because it was a while ago.
So my first end result was all of my main characters dying, but I played it again. And then I played it again, and then Kara and Alice was able to go over the border, and the rest of them survived on their own as well. So, yeah. I learned a lot through both playthroughs.
I think I remember this correctly. I did the most pacifist protest you could do with Marcus. Because I felt like at the time when I was younger that was like the most effective way to get the androids freedom. Kara and Alice got out because the public opinion of androids was like they deserve freedom, and so like there's an ending.
Getting public opinion is so hard, though.
That's why I played pacifist, though, is because if you don't murder any humans and you're willing to let your people die for it, like you have to be willing to
sacrifice your own kind.
You really do for your freedom. I mean, you have to be okay with getting shot at, dying, like every single form of persecution imaginable, and you don't fight back because it shows that you're almost better than them in that regard, that you're above it. And that's actually how protests during the civil rights movement worked. It was nonviolent. And that caused a lot of movement in different groups because it was like people were seeing on the news that it was like, wow, okay, here's a bunch of black people rights activists, and they're not fighting back, and police are like brutalizing them for nothing.
Yeah,
who's actually in the right here? The people that are just peacefully advocating for rights, or the people brutalizing them? Yeah. And that's kind of how I did it in Detroit Become Human. Anyway. Sorry to go off on a tangent. Kara and I can't think of the girl's name. Alice got out. Marcus got freedom. Hope hated Marcus.
Fair.
In my playthrough, she did not like him at all. Hank and Connor had the ultimate bromance in mine. They were absolute homies by the end. And I loved that storyline for them because Hank he confronted the grief of his son and got over it. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, please go. Sorry.
Zach, what do you think? What do you think your outcome is going to be?
Destroying robots.
Wow, you're really going to sacrifice all of them?
No. Like, I actually plan on playing the game, and actually, because it's currently downloading on my computer.
Cool.
As we speak.
Nice.
Kane.
I don't know. I feel like I could go one way or the other, but I feel like I'm going to have a hard time kind of figuring out which that's going to be.
Fair enough. All right. I appreciate every single one of you guys coming out tonight. Sorry to rush or wrap up, but thank you guys so much all for coming in. If you guys have social medias that you guys would like me to drop down in the description, please send them to me. I'll put them in the description of this.
YouTube.
So yeah, thank you guys all out there for listening in to me and my friends and homies ramble on about this game. If you guys have any game suggestions, please DM me on Instagram, Plexi Film Show. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening tonight. Hopefully you guys have a great and safe night. Love you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys later. It's WXUT 88.3, Toledo's only alternative.